Next on the Broadway Show, we'll let the genie out of the bottle. Michael James Scott is here to talk about playing the genie in Aladdin and a whole lot more. Plus, we'll talk to one of Broadway's incredible performers about why she's just gotta dance. And Tariq Trotter, aka Black Thought from the Roots, is here to talk about his provocative new musical. I'm Tamsen Fadal, and this is the Broadway Show. We are always excited to bring you another amazing episode of the Broadway Show. I'm Tamsen Fadal. This one's sure to rub you the right way. He is Broadway's genie in a bottle in Disney's Aladdin. Michael James Scott plays the genie, and Paul Wontorek took a walk with him through Broadway and his stellar career on stage.
That's right, Tamsen. Before Michael James Scott was getting standing O's as the genie in Aladdin, he's been getting applause up and down these blocks. Am I right?
Obviously. Yes! Yes! Oh
How are
gosh.
you?
I'm good. I'm so happy to see you.
Here we are. Look at all this branding. Aladdin,
nice
the New Amsterdam
subtle,
Theater. You're back. Genie's back.
I'm back. It's so good to be here. Broadway is back. We are open. We are welcoming audiences. People are there. People are so excited.
Yeah.
People are, I mean, it's just the energy is incredible.
Yeah.
And you can feel it up and down Times Square, up and down these streets and inside the theater. And I'm just so blessed to be able to get to say I'm back on Broadway.
So we're gonna go for a little walk. We're gonna see some of the highlights.
Oh
we're gonna relive your past.
I'm a little a little overwhelmed by that. Like I've never done that, so I'm like, oh my gosh, like we're gonna do that?
We're doing it. You actually performed across the street. That theater has changed names.
Yes.
It used to be the Hilton Theater.
The Hilton Theater.
You were in a huge smash called the Pirate Queen. The Pirate Queen.
Oh my God, what you call me? No,
I saw that. No,
Oh
Stephanie J. Block. I call Stephanie J. Block that because she was the Pirate Queen.
She was everything as
She was
the Pirate
everything.
Queen. My favorite thing about that show is we lived for Stephanie's song that she sang, I Am Woman, like every night.
I Am Woman. I forgot it was called
Yes,
that.
it was like
Hear her
Woman,
roar.
yes. And we watched her sing this song every day, and like, we would always like, blown away. And
Yeah.
Stephanie, I mean, like, it was just amazing.
This is the St. James Theater.
Yes.
You were in Something Rotten.
Yes.
Exclamation point.
Exclamation point, yes.
I love that show so much. You were so fantastic in it. You helped create a brand new musical.
Yes.
Who did you play in that?
So I was the minstrel. Welcome to the Renaissance was my song. I opened the show.
You did.
Which was just crazy. I mean, I got to create an opening number of a Broadway show. I was also a part of that show with like comedic geniuses. I mean, from Brian Darcy James, the like dreamy Brian Darcy to Brooks, Ash Manskis, and Brad Oscar. I mean, the list goes on.
I also love this theater because what I love about your career is that you've gotten to this point of being the genie.
Yes.
And that was one of those big moments where it was like, oh look, there he is opening a show. Bravo.
People were very, they've said that, and they were like, it was so amazing to see you step up and step out because we've watched you in lots of shows, and I felt that. I felt that from so many people.
The Al Hirschfeld Theater. This is the home of Moulin Rouge, but you did 2 shows here.
I did two shows here.
First you did
I did hair.
Hair first.
I did hair first. Hair. It was the summer of love. It's also the summer I started dating my husband, which is also a very it's like a very like I remember the show a lot. It was a beautiful production, amazing people. We were touching the audience.
I know.
We were
Can't
like,
do that anymore.
Did we touch you?
You can't do that. Oh, I know. Yeah, you can't do that anymore.
You can't do it. I know it's kind of crazy because that was really a part of the show.
You were also in Elf.
Then I was in Elf the musical.
Who'd you play in Elf?
Oh my gosh, I was Cletus, honey. We ice skated on a Broadway stage.
It snowed on stage too. It's fun to be in a Christmas show. Here we are at the Richard Rodgers Theater.
Yes.
Where obviously Hamilton is playing, but we love one name. Tarzan also played here. Before Hamilton, there was Tarzan.
Before Hamilton, there was
and you
Tarzan.
were kind of in it, not for long.
I was in it for, I actually don't even remember how long. It was so crazy how short it was. I went through all of the craziness of the flying and everything. And I actually was in the show, went into the show, and then we got our closing notice. Literally my third, I think it was like a month in.
Okay, the Eugene O'Neill Theater.
Yes.
You did not perform Eugene O'Neill here.
No.
Very much the opposite. You were actually in the Book of Mormon, which is still here, and you were in the original cast.
I was in the original cast of the Book of Mormon.
And you got to watch that entire process of like watching a show that went on to become like a legendary musical, win Best Musical.
Yes.
I mean, and you got to sort of, when you're in one of those casts, the whole cast sort of becomes part of the triumph.
Absolutely. I mean, I was there from the very first secret reading. I had no idea what I said yes to. I loved it so much. The material is just beyond brilliant. I played Dr. Gotswana, so I sing about having maggots in my...
Oh, that's correct,
that's me,
yes.
That's me. I was belting that on the stage. It means a lot also because this musical, the material just, it was very unapologetic.
Yep.
And I was so proud to be a part of something that was unapologetic, but also making people think and being a big Broadway musical.
Mamma Mia.
Here I go again.
You did that show.
I did that show.
That was right here at the Winter Garden.
Oh my gosh.
Mamma Mia.
I did Mamma Mia.
That was a hit.
It was a hit. It was like, it was really fun.
My favorite part is the mega mix at the end.
Oh.
Amazing, right?
First of all, I mean, it's like you get to the show and then there's another show that happens.
Yeah,
the
the
full
fallout.
third act.
Yeah.
My very first night of that show, I was in like an orange linen suit and I came down and in the mega mixes are the bows, right?
Right.
And I was doing my thing and you have like an improv to like do, so I was like, oh, I'm about to let everyone have it. Well, I tripped and fell and there I was center stage and literally crawled right behind me. All you saw were people like this. Like laughing so hard.
So here we are, literally in the middle of Times Square.
Oh.
That behind us, believe it or not, is a beautiful Broadway theater called The Palace, as in Judy played The Palace.
As in
right?
Judy played,
Garland.
yes.
And you also made your Broadway debut at The Palace. And this theater is coming back, by the way.
My Broadway debut, I made it in a show called All Shook Up. With like all Elvis music, amazing Broadway veterans in that show.
Yeah.
It's almost 20 years ago.
What was that kid like?
Oh my gosh, he was, he just was a sponge and wanted to soak up Broadway and the dreams of being on Broadway. I saw my very first Broadway show where I did my first.
What? That's crazy.
I'm so mad.
What's that,
right
a genie?
now.
That's a genie.
James Earl just passed by. I'm so mad. I'm so mad at you.
I just had to come tonight to just acknowledge this wonderful man here, Jonathan Freeman, he was the original voice of Jafar, as you all know, in the animated film, and then he did this show with us in Seattle 12 years ago or something. And then he's been with us since the beginning, and he's just the best.
It's also the end of an era at Aladdin. After more than 2,000 performances, Jonathan Freeman, the actor who plays Jafar, just celebrated his final performance. Director and choreographer Casey Nicolau on hand for a surprise send-off at the curtain call. The hit musical Come From Away is the incredible true story about people helping people in the days immediately following 9/11. And right now, Rachel Tucker plays Captain Beverly Bass. Charlie's here with the story.
Thanks, Tamsen. Rachel Tucker joined Come From Away just days before the pandemic shut down Broadway. I sat down with her at the Renaissance Hotel to talk about returning to the heartwarming hits. Rachel, you joined Come From Away right before the pandemic shut Broadway down. What was that like, that feeling like for you to know that like you wouldn't return after such a long time?
I mean, first of all, it was devastating. And I remember standing in Times Square, getting the call from my agent, and he said, go home, as in to London. And my mind was blown that something could shut theatre. Like, you know, theatre is the last thing to close, always, no matter what happens. In fact, out of all the businesses that are affected, theatre is the one thing that is still yet to fully come back.
What's What's it feel like to reunite with your come-from-away family?
it was ridiculous. I mean, it was an amazing feeling. Everyone was so ready for it, more so than any other time in their career. You know, I've heard a lot of people say, and I've said it too, I will never take standing on stage for an audience, in front of a live audience, for granted ever again. I will never be complacent about that. And we were like giddy school kids, rehearsing Come From Away again, myself for the third time. And it was so exciting. It was like a reward every day getting into work.
You originated the role of Captain Beverly Bass in the West End, and now you're playing her here. Do you feel like you perform that role differently based on the location?
Not quite. I think maybe I might have got away with the southern accent in the West End a bit more than I do here. So I've had a few more dialect coaches sessions with our coach, Joel, who's fantastic. But the Newfoundland accent is the one that I'm always a bit like, am I doing the Newfoundland accent, or am I just doing an Irish accent that I kind of know in my head? I always just need to make sure I'm on the Canadian side and just use my Irish accent, but with a bit of a Canadian accent. That's how I stay safe, that's how I play it.
What do you hope people get out of this show that's just so inspiring after such a crisis just took place? And for people who, all of us, we've just lived through a crisis of our own, what kind of message do you hope they get from the show?
Well, I mean, I think this show is more prevalent now than it's like ever been after 9/11, you know. I mean, we need this story that, you know, whenever humanity, you know, goes through a tough, terrible time, like the tragedy of 9/11 and the days, the aftermath afterwards, we as a society find we come together. We need each other more after this pandemic, and I think the show is the biggest coming together of when the hardest times in our lives. The show just sells the best of humanity at the worst possible time. I mean, I don't think there's a more apt show on Broadway right now to say that. It's like it's being written for post-pandemic society.
Tariq Trotter is best known as a longtime MC of The Roots and the band leader on The Tonight Show. But right now, he's on the New York City stage, co-starring in Black No More. It's a show for which he also wrote the music and lyrics. Check it out.
You know, I have my own show that I'm acting in and that I've composed and arranged, and I'm one of the producers on. Black No More is, it's an adaptation of the early Afrofuturist novel, you know, written by George Schuler. It's a story of a Harlemite named Max Disher, who is, he's over Harlem for, you know, very many reasons, and all the things that come along with Harlem. You know, the women, you know, the community. He feels that Harlem has failed him, as have not only Black women, but, you know, Blackness. He's ready to sort of, you know, call it quits. An opportunity presents itself for him to do just that in you know, this new invention that is called Black No More. And he hears a doctor played by myself, this Dr. Junius Crookman, speaking on the radio about his invention, this machine that through which he's able to manipulate the genes that cause vitiligo, and he could essentially give one vitiligo all over for a mere $50, and it's like a one-time fee, and you know, you can change your life.
There's still a lot more to talk about on this edition of The Broadway Show. Coming up, they feel pretty, so pretty, and they look fabulous. A behind-the-scenes look at the incredible costumes of West Side Story. I'm Tamsen Fadal, and this is The Broadway Show, and we'll be right back. Hadestown is a trip to the underworld and back, featuring some devilishly good performances. We met up with Kim Steele, one of the show's great performers, at Open Jar Studios to find out why she's just gotta dance.
Hi, my name is Kim Steele, and I am in the Broadway company of Hadestown. So I was first introduced to dance as a toddler. My mother, when she would work from home, she would put me and my sister in front of the TV to watch these long movie musicals. I was introduced to Fiddler on the Roof, West Side Story, South Pacific, Sound of Music, all these classic musicals at a young age, and I fell in love. I have been singular-minded about musical theater since I was 10 years old. So there was never really anything else for me. My first trip to New York City, I was 15. My mother and sister were asleep in the hotel. It was 6 o'clock in the morning, and I walked over to where Spring Awakening was playing and sat outside in the cold in the cancellation line by myself to get tickets. That's just sort of how I approach my love for musical theater, just all in. After I graduated college, it became sort of a make or break. Like, are you going to do this, or are you going to use your degree from UCLA and do something else? This was right around the time that a little small indie musical called Hamilton came out. I was one of those people who, when I first moved to New York, slept outside the theater for 21 hours to get a ticket to Hamilton during the week of the Tonys. Just seeing the actors on stage and them seeing me, because I was sitting in the third row, and like just being way over the top, crying, singing along, having them see me and me seeing them, I just saw myself up there. I would say one of my favorite past performances was Hair at the Hollywood Bowl. That was my first show out of UCLA, so I really felt like I hit the ground running. And to do Hair with all of its beads, flowers, freedom, and happiness, and full nudity at the end of Act 1 was extremely me, and it just felt like I was on my way. I made my Broadway debut in Summer, the Donna Summer musical. The main thing I remember about making my Broadway debut was feeling terrified at all times. You know, when you have a dream that you've had for 15 years realized, there's a whole host of complex emotions that come with it. So I was very scared in Donna Summer. I was overjoyed. I was proud of myself. I think the most important thing is to bring my authentic self, which sounds cheesy, but you know, it actually takes your artistry to the next level when you feel confident that what you are delivering is really you. And Hadestown definitely allows me to do that because the choreography is so freeing. Everyone is unique and everyone is celebrating themselves within the movement. My message to aspiring performers is to really lean into your most authentic self. If you're ever given an opportunity to show people who you are and to introduce yourself to the world, take it. Dance makes me feel transcendent. I feel privileged and a little bit like an alien, actually. Like an extraterrestrial who gets to put on a costume and makeup and make believe and move my body and feel the music and share my art. It's just so extraterrestrial.
Welcome back to the Broadway Show. I'm Tamsen Fadal. Let's get back to it.
Oye, Javi, ponle fuego, vamos!
Steven Spielberg's West Side Story is the movie musical event of the year. And now that it's award season in Hollywood, the remake of the iconic film is racking up the nominations. Broadway's Ariana DeBose is picking up nods from just about all major award shows. And some critics think she could repeat Rita Moreno's Oscar win for her turn as Anita. And something you might also notice in West Side Story are the costumes. The colors, they just pop off the screen. Here's a behind-the-scenes look with Tony and Emmy award-winning costume designer Paul Taswell.
After having my first meeting with Steven, I immersed myself in the period. I then develop a color palette and sketches for Steven to then respond to. We went through character by character and group by group.
Paul was certainly a new kid on the block because I used so many of the same people, film after film. But I love Paul's work. He designed all the costumes for Hamilton, and I really wanted to work with him on this. She could be different from everybody else, but it should be a little more muted.
Sure.
Subdued because of the movie about the scene.
For Rita, it was important for her that she not come off as classically old woman. She's definitely full of life. And one of the suggestions that she made was that she would like to wear a pair of pants, and the first thing that she would be in, which makes her appear more active.
And set, and action!
It's important to create difference between the two gangs. And my task is then, how do I best render the difference in these two groups to both support who they are as characters? For every gang, we had 15 men and 15 women. And then coming and going, 400 background extras. It was challenging, but hugely gratifying to see it.
And that's going to do it for us. Until next time, I'm Tamsen Fadal, and this is The Broadway Show.